Alright, we're going to test out our Citrix VDI in a box solution with Dentrix and Dexis and a Wise thin client. Just going to go ahead and power up the thin client, which has been mounted behind the dual displays. In our case, the second display here is also copied onto another third display that hangs above the patient chair for patient view. So we can think of this as a patient view monitor. I have timed it. The approximate boot time is right around the 30-second mark. It's about 10 seconds till you see the desktop, but there's still a number of processes running that need to complete before the desktop is usable. So in just a moment here, we should see our Internet Explorer page pop up here for our VDI login. And there it is. So I will go ahead and log in with our credential. Now, I don't recommend this, but just for the purposes of demonstration, to see that we can do it, we're actually going to open our Citrix components on one monitor, and we will run some Hulu video on the second display to simulate patient entertainment or patient education. Keep in mind that all of that second display is still right now being handled by the thin client. There's not a lot of CPU left over for it, but it does work. So our Windows 7 virtual desktop has opened on the left, and we now have Hulu opening up on our secondary display. I'm going to go ahead and open up the appointment book here. So we have our schedule. We can full screen that, advance, forward, backwards. Pretty responsive, pretty fluid. You don't even know that you're not actually on a physical machine right now. Hulu, we can see, is still coming up here on the other side. I will go ahead and open up one of our patient records, and we will also launch one of the Hulu content selections right now. So I'll just go back to today's date, pick patient off the schedule, and there we have our chart opened up with x-rays at the bottom. Go ahead and open up Dexis here. At this point, I'm going to plug in intraoral camera, which is a Digidoc, and a Dexis Platinum x-ray sensor. Those USB devices, you can now hear, have just been detected, and our Hulu video is beginning to play here on the secondary display. Or some kind of advertisement is playing on the second display. I will go ahead and enter X-ray acquisition mode. Clicking on our radiation symbol. You can see the sensor has already been detected, as it should, like a tooth. And we are now waiting for X-rays. We have a Nomad gun. Go ahead and enable our Nomad and trigger our X-rays. I'm going to count about 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Right around the 11-second mark. Before we have image return. Of course, it's because we are moving X-ray data off to the cloud and then pulling it back down for display. So, not too bad, all things considered. I can go ahead and actually pause my Hulu content now, and at the same time we will take our VDI in a box and we will make VDI in a box take over both displays. We're just going to drag it into the middle and then maximize it again. Now our virtual desktop is covering both displays, and we could actually move Dexis to our secondary display and pull up our image full screen there for the patient. And keep in mind this is also happening on the patient view monitor simultaneously. Perform all of our usual darken and lighten, and then once I was done with that, I can move Dexis back over to the primary display. I can also go back to our Hulu movie on the secondary display, and Dexis again full screen on the primary display. So it's a combination of our virtual desktop is actually on the left, and our thin client desktop is playing the Hulu movie on the right. So it's pretty easy to interchange and mix and match all of those. I'm going to go in once more to the Dexis component here, and we will simulate some intraoral photographs on our Digidot camera. I'm just going to press this button here for digital camera acquisition.
Father to daughter, brother to sister,
and we'll give that interface just a moment to pop up. Alright, here we have our digital camera interface.
But it is our bonds of choice that truly light the road we travel.
See, we have a nice big video preview window that opens up, and that's a very good picture of my very poor dental hygiene there on the screen. Go ahead and select that, give that a tooth number, and return that image back to Dexis, where of course we could move around and do all the things we normally would inside Dexis. And that's about it. Dual monitor display, Dentrix VDI in a box, Dentrix Dexis intraoral cameras, and X-ray sensors in the cloud.